That's actually the hardest decision is this a crap, I got to pivot totally super quick, or is it I'm being impatient, right?
So then let me ask you, Shane, once you can kind of accept that, right? You accept that you're going to drop 50 grand on a different arm of an area of law that isn't going to work. You accept that you're going to pay for leads that aren't actually leads. Like, you know that this is part of the game and it's not going to lead to you quitting. How have you in the past mentally walked yourself through that so that you didn't get discouraged so much so that you threw your hands up and said, well, I guess this just isn't meant for me?
I think part of it is one, knowing everything's going to take 3 times as long, right?
Yeah.
3 times, or cost 3 times as much money and take twice as long to see any success versus what anybody promises you, right? That's number one. It's always going to take longer. 2, I think you have to get in your head, if you try one thing and it doesn't work and you stop, that's, you're never going to make it there. It's like,
Yeah.
you've got to continue on, and you've got to commit to, it's not, am I going to spend marketing money on this one thing, and that's going to be all my marketing. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to spend marketing money. It's, you've got to commit to growth, and you've got to commit to a dollar figure and a time amount, that you're going to invest in stuff to make it grow, so that if this marketing thing doesn't work, it doesn't mean you save that $5,000 you were paying. It means you shift to, another lead source for $5,000. And I think the key too is, do you need to pivot? Is this a quick pivot, right? This is a disaster, cut it loose, or is it a, you've got to persevere and keep grinding, right? And things fall into those 2 categories. And I think that's the hard part. That's actually the hardest decision is this a crap, I got to pivot totally super quick, or is it I'm being impatient, right? Because both of those are problems.
Yeah, they're super tough. And I think the hardest part about what you just defined is, how do you know the difference, right? How do you know the difference? I have struggled with this my entire life.